This is Kevin Scott, one of the writers of Star Wars: The High Republic, and I'm on Team Nerdherd. And I've forgotten what the phrase is.
Welcome back to the Team Nerdherd podcast. Team Nerdherd, we are super excited to bring you yet another guest from the comic community, international artist, superstar, Stephanie Hans. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining the show today. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some questions. But before that, let's get into this roll call. JR, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much as JR Rogue's Law. You're a resident mean guy of the group. Marvel fan, you're Star Wars fan. I'll pass it on down to Mr. Robert. How are you doing, Big Rob?
Just enjoying this beautiful morning. Big Rob, Rob's Nerd Haven on Instagram, and ready to hang out with Stephanie today. Let's move on to Nick.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Nick here, Firestar Comics. Yeah, I'm excited. Championship weekend, an awesome artist here to talk about her amazing work. So yeah, let's boogie. What's up, Alonzo?
What up? Thanks a lot, Nick. This is Alonzo, aka Comics and Pops on IG, and I am your comic book nerd and your pop culture fanatic, and I cannot wait to hear what Stephanie Hans has to say. But before I do, over to you, Steve.
Well, thank you guys very much for doing the roll call. Now, there's a staple on the Team Nerdherd podcast that we love to dive in. And our question to you, Stephanie, is what are your comic book origins? Give us a rundown on where it all started for your career. And let's buckle up.
It's overall a multi-layered story because when I grew up in a very small village. There were 600 people living there. And my mother, she used to take me to the supermarket. It was other times, like 40 years ago. And she would just drop me at the comic book section and like take me back 1 hour later when she's finished with the grocery stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you don't do that anymore with your kids. But
I know. They would call the cops.
Oh, yeah.
That's the old days.
That was the 80s. So,
yeah, I was there.
I'm there with you.
I used to read all the. It was a very small store, so there were like mostly BD, the French comic books, and not a lot of them like the Tintins and Asterix, and like basic stuff. But on the other side, my father used to buy like periodic book, monthly book. It was about I think it was the New Mutants.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the West Coast Avengers, Iron Man, and some French stuff inside, like 4 stories.
Cool.
That was called Strange, if I remember correctly. And I used to read that. But after a few years of that, Bill Sienkiewicz had this run on the New Mutants, and I was 10. And it was way too artistic for me, or like too adult. And so I dropped the comics at that moment. So time passes, and when I was in my early 20s, maybe I joined a group of role players, and some of them were like elitist readers, comic readers, and they dropped me like a pile of books of I think it was certainly V for Vendetta, the first one. The whole
very
Alan
nice.
Moore. Also certainly Sandman. It was a good way to be introduced into comics again.
Yeah, very good way. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the books from Frank Miller, the whole Sin City stories. That was nice. And this is my relationship, on and off relationship with comics for my life. But how I get into comics is a whole other story, because I never thought I would be able to work into comics. Again, I come from another time, and internet wasn't really a thing. I was the first person hired from a PDF portfolio from several French editors. At the moment, you still had to go and meet someone to get hired. But there was this guy who was working in original comic books in Paris, Olivier Jalabert. He now works as an editor, but at that moment he was just a local comic book seller. And he used to go to the United States regularly and meet people from Marvel, apparently. And a few people from that era, from France, those who work with Marvel now, they went through this guy. And so I did too. But that was really purely a coincidence. I knew somebody that he knew. I just dropped my folder. I was like, okay, I already had 300 no's. One more won't hurt me.
Okay.
It wasn't exactly a no, but it wasn't exactly a yes. C.B. Cebulski had my folio, and he kept it for 2 years.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
Wow.
Jesus.
But at least he finally hired you. That's one smart move he made.
Sorry?
I said at least he finally hired you. That's one smart move he made.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
We have a very but I actually agree. He thought I was too green at the moment, and I totally agree with that. I worked a lot. If you see my very early work, it's very, very different. I had a lot of growing up to do.
That's cool though. It's cool that you can look back and see, hey, look, all the growth that you've accomplished, since that time. You can look back and judge yourself and go, okay, I see what you saw and how I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
it's tough for some people to do that. Is look back at their own stuff and go, oh, that sucked. A lot of times it's great. Everything I've ever done is great. And so that's really humbling to see somebody, look at their own stuff and be reflective of it in a constructive manner.
Well, the thing is, I actually knew some people who were actually kind of genius. Those people who drew when they were 14, as you would draw now. I know you them, and the thing is, I don't envy them because there is no challenge.
Right?
I like challenge, and I think it's very satisfying to know that you've worked very, very hard for something and you made it in the end, and that's worth something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, to be able to take pride. So speaking of that, how did you know that you could be drawing comics full time? This is your career. So when did you know?
I don't know. I think I just jumped on every occasion. I had a very, very cheap apartment, so I didn't have to earn a lot of money at the beginning of my career. It gave me the time to be mediocre for a while, honestly. My apartment was I had 4 rooms plus the kitchen, and it was only $300. So,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I could literally live out of $5,000 a year, which I did at the beginning.
Gosh, stay away from California. It's way expensive over here.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Not come over here.
Yeah.
They take your wallet and then some.
I heard the prices in the United States are insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just kind of curious, other than obviously drawing do you do any other mediums? Do you paint? Do you do
Well,
canvas?
Mostly for commissions. Once in a while for covers, yes, I paint, but not
Okay.
very often. It's mostly a matter of time. Once I'm done with, I did a traditional cover. Not, it's not been published yet, but for I think it was Captain Marvel recently. This one was traditional. We will see.
Okay.
Okay.
Looking
Oh,
forward to
Gotta
that.
put it on my pull.
Yeah.
Yes, I am checked off already.
So I heard that you said you were role playing games. Was it like D&D or?
We
You-
were playing Warhammer with the rules
Warhammer.
of, Advanced
40K or fantasy?
No, fantasy.
Fantasy.
I don't
Okay.
remember the name in English. In French, it's La Campagne Impériale.
That sounds way better in French.
It does.
Yeah. It makes me want to play that all the time now.
So we used to play that, and once in a while we used to play Feng Shui. Feng Shui is awesome. Honestly, it's one of the best games I've ever played.
I have to look that one up.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I'm-
Like Feng Shui is like you're playing in one of those old Hong Kong movies.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, okay.
the more the action is insane and cheeky, and the more chance you get to actually make it.
Oh my god. So is it kind of like Enter the Dragon-ish?
Maybe, I don't know.
I was thinking more like what's the
Or Game
Kurt
of
Russell
Death?
movie? What's
Big Trouble
Big
in Little
Trouble in Little China.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. It's probably a little more that way with the cheekiness.
But it uses miniatures. It uses minis. Like Warhammer.
It uses what?
Miniatures, like little miniature characters, like Warhammer.
No.
No. Okay.
And to be honest, when we were playing Warhammer, we weren't playing with miniatures either.
Oh, you weren't.
No, we were playing with the rules of Dungeons and Dragons, and
Okay.
we weren't using the characters.
Got
Yeah,
it.
I've seen that before. They play with the campaigns and stuff they do
Mm.
with D20 die and everything.
Ah. So have you been playing lately?
No, not for a very long while, but I actually bought myself a copy of Feng Shui, and I want to masterize it, so it should happen.
Nice.
It's going to come to fruition. 2021, for sure.
Apparently we will have a new lockdown very soon, so I will have time.
Oh,
my
Yeah,
God,
that's what
really?
I hear. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's in the air. People are talking about it. So.
yeah. If it makes you feel better, we're already in lockdown here in California, especially.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
all in
I've-
California.
In the comfort of
Actually-
our own homes.
one of my coworkers actually has it, and I got exposed to it, so I'm banned from work for the next week.
Oh.
I got told you need to stay home. We'll pay you to stay home. So I'm like, okay, works for me. But I have to ask, because the reason I was bringing up the role playing is I love your book, Die. I think you and Karen Gillian are amazing. I mean, it's one of my favorite books. Obviously you both have creative design in it. I mean, what's kind of some of your impact on it? Is there certain characters that you really thrive towards, or anything of that nature?
So, a few years ago, I was what you call let's say digital nomad. So, and Kieran wrote me about his project. We've been talking for a while of doing something. We knew it would be fantasy.
Mhm.
And because I was already traveling, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come to England and we'll talk. So I went to London and I stayed at his place for a while. And we talked a lot, not especially about this, but about stories. And there are a lot of things that are coming from my stories in the book. Most of them are his, of course. But there is the theme, I think one of the first things I told him was the thing I prefer in comics in when they are related to literature. Like I really love The Unwritten, for example, or the League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen.
More.
I'm
Oh yeah.
fascinated by the let's say the relationship between literature and comic books.
Okay.
So that's about it. And stories. There are also some characters. There is at least 2 characters on which I had a direct impact. It's like Isabelle is literally my best friend Christelle, who's adopted in Korean, French adopted Korean. We were talking a lot with her before this about the representation of her group in the medias and everything, and this came when we were talking. And there is also Ash in his male form. Go say. Like when we were talking about the design, it was like, when I was young, when I was at school, that was the kind of artistic people who were like, always with the Iron Maiden, let's say battle jackets, and
Yep.
the art folder. Like that was really a group in my school. I was like,
The emo kids.
Yeah.
No. We were before the emo
Very
kids.
old to be emo.
Goth. You mean goth?
No, we were before goth even, because I was like the rocker kids. Like when I went to junior high and stuff, with the Metallica shirts and the
Hatchers.
Iron Maiden,
Hatchers,
Judas
right?
Priest patch. I mean, right? That's
Bikes
what
on
you're
your
talking
shoulders.
So yeah, this is like the real direct contribution I had. But for the rest, I'm mostly the architect. He brings the idea, and I'm trying to wrap them in tissue, maybe, or something like that.
Visualize, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the artwork is stunning, most definitely. Before coming into comics, I was talking to JR, and JR definitely gave me a synopsis of the book. I'm an independent guy, so I'm looking to read it, and I'm super excited. Horror and D&D, I'm on board, most definitely.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, JR.
Well, I was gonna say I was lucky enough to meet Carrion Gillian years ago at Image Expo when it was still in San Francisco. For me, it was hard to understand. Is he that hard for you? I mean, he's a super nice guy, but I almost need to read his lips while I'm talking to him to understand him.
Stephanie's not yes.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
You wouldn't believe the amount of time I had to lie and pretend I was in a tunnel. Sorry, I can't hear you. Please write that down.
Or just the head nod. Yes, sure.
But I mean, he's a super nice guy. Like it was weird because it was after hours thing, and he was talking to all the fans, but sometimes there's just kind of like I was just nodding my head, going, "Yeah, I totally get that."
I understand, but now I understand it more now. I have gotten used to it, but I always have to remind it, like, please don't talk too fast. Remember, I'm French, and your accent is difficult.
Yeah.
He's got a real British accent.
Oh yeah,
It's real British.
yeah.
Look good, yeah.
Oh, for sure. So, how did you come up with like the art for Die? I mean, I look through all the pages and kind of look at it, and there's like a lot of bright colors that kind of want you to kind of like emote certain things. I mean, you have like vibrant reds, and you have some like deep purples and blacks. I mean, how did you come up with this? I mean, because every page that you kind of turn, like you can tell a little bit of what's happening or going to happen because of the color palette you use.
So, as I was saying earlier, I was kind of a mediocre artist at first, but I had still some strengths. Otherwise, I wouldn't have worked at all. But my major strength were colors and composition. And so I guess this is my first way of expressing something is trying to use the color, you know. But
No,
now
it,
trying to have a palette for each double spread page, like double page.
Right.
I really love it when you open a book and you have this thing that opens and you have like the, you know, the color that you've decided that just jumps at you. Yeah, red.
Yeah, that's so vividly aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. It's like they've literally landed into like a different world. Like everything's so faded, but the red, I mean, really just like pops. So it's like, oh my God, it feels like very strange. I love it. Like these colors are amazing.
Thank you so much.
But also, if you notice, like when you read it, like each character's kind of got their own color set around them. I mean, at least I've noticed that. Where I never can remember the guy, the Grief Knight. What is his name? Yeah, but when he recently when he grabbed the two different weapons, I don't want to spoil it too much because Steve hasn't read it yet. But you can see the whole different aura when he's now holding two weapons instead of having just one. And I mean, I just think that's so cool to you relay emotion that way. It seems like in that.
Yeah.
Is there going to be? Go ahead.
No third weapon.
No. I was gonna say I don't know where he'd hold it if he had a third weapon. But it seems like
in his satchel.
No.
In his satchel.
It seems like we're kind of getting to an end in Die. Is that? I know Gillian likes to do like short, like he'll do like 25 issues and then come back and do another. Is that going to be the case? And maybe we'll get like them when they were kids down the road?
There are projects.
There's stuff.
Okay, good.
There's stuff coming. I want to know, have you played the game Die yet?
Just once. Everybody loves that game. Yeah. But Kieran was mastering, so it counts.
Yeah, there you go. That's the best way to do it then.
Yeah, because is there any plans, do you know, with Karen, like to release the game and publish it as a game?
Well,
I thought he did.
Well, we are talking about things. So yeah.
That's very cool. Very cool. It'd be so cool to go to the comic book shop, pick up the game and the book, right?
Oh, sure.
Right? That'd be so cool.
Yeah, read the foundation and then get involved in it.
I thought they did release the player's manual for the game.
You can actually download it.
Okay.
Right, but that requires me doing work. I have to put things together. I want to go to the store and buy a kit and I have everything. It's got the dice in it. It's got everything.
You know, the French press edition, like only for the journalists, came with the box with dice in it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
What a treat. Oh,
that's very cool. Yeah. So have you ever come to like San Diego Comic-Con before?
San Diego, no, I was actually hoping to come last year.
Oh man.
I had a lot of projects for last year. I was supposed to go to Los Angeles. I had tickets for Coachella, unrelated, but still very
yeah, near and dear to my heart. Coachella is an awesome place.
So I'm going to steal this question from Steve.
Who
did you want to see? Who did you want to see at Coachella? I'm just curious.
Rage Against the Machine. I was going
to there you go.
Oh my God.
Have you ever seen them?
They're amazing.
No.
I saw them twice when I was a kid. Once was the night before my 21st birthday.
Wow.
Like literally, I walked out of the parking lot. I was 21 years old. Such a great show.
That's a way to bring in 21.
Are you going to try to, like, once this is all over, COVID, are you going to try to make the Coachella trip finally?
If Rage Against the Machine plays, yes.
Right? You're like, only
you
if Rage is there.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
I could go for Blackpink too, but we'll see.
Oh, Blackpink would be awesome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
So Tom Morello or Zach De La Rocha for
Oh.
Rage.
I don't know. I would take everyone.
Yeah.
Collectively,
You have to choose, really?
She's like both.
I mean, they're both so talented.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, Morello's like that one in a generation guitarist.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you put her in a position, JR. She's
I
like,
know. Zach is on Run the Jewels too, man. Zach
She's
is
like, this is
killing it.
recorded,
no,
right?
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, no, they're both amazing. That's what I was asking.
So what kind of music do you specifically listen to? I know you're a fan of Rage Against the Machine, but what other type of music really jumps out at you?
Oh, anything. I'm just like I'm absorbing any music. Recently, I downloaded some titles from The Who. It's not The Who. The Who. It's Mongolian metal.
Oh, HU, who? They're awesome. They are
Alright.
fantastic.
It's
Yeah,
Wow.
they're great.
I gotta download that, or I gotta look it up because
They
I love
just
that
released
type
a
of music.
Metallica cover. Their Metallica cover of "Sad but True" is amazing.
honestly, I liked everything I heard from them.
Oh my god.
If you like that Mongolian throat singing, look up a guy named Batzog. Batzog is just
That song.
And
Writing that down.
besides that, I listen to a lot of Korean music, of course.
Okay,
Oh.
a little Korean pop.
Of course.
What about okay, so I have to ask, since you're a K-pop, what about Korean dramas?
So I'm conflicted with Korean dramas for one reason. It's because I always try to stream series while I work. And so I don't really look at them. I look them at the key scenes, but not all the while. And so I had to drop Korean dramas and Bollywood because of that. Because I cannot read the subtitles
Okay.
Oh,
while
yeah.
I work.
No, I totally
Yeah,
get that. I
very
got a
true.
friend who draws, and he's like, I love anime, but I can't watch anime in Japanese
Hey.
while working.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's the details. You'll miss a whole storyline.
Yep.
Yes. And that's very sad. I really love the Korean dramas.
So what do you put in the background then when you're creating art?
Oh, well, anything. What did I watch recently? Sabrina. That was nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I have this old series that I still like. It goes Psych. Once in a while, I would just watch the whole thing. You know. I
Oh,
don't know why.
Psych!
Yes,
Oh my
Psych is
god,
good.
that
Yeah.
show is great.
I love it. Really.
It's hilarious, and I like all of the attention to detail and how he's just kind of fumbling around, pretending to be this psychic person.
Yeah. It's a stupid story, but I really like it.
It's
Well,
like,
that's some of the best shows are those dumb stories that they would not fly in real life, but they're great for a TV show.
yeah, you can just shut down and just watch. You don't have to think too much. It's just like, okay, that's great.
He's backpedaling, trying to paint the perfect picture, cover things up,
And what did I watch recently? I'm still trying to watch a few episodes of Gotham. It's not very interesting, but
No, it's
it
not.
gets
I watched the
better.
whole season.
I just watched the
No,
first
it doesn't get that much better.
It,
Honestly,
it goes off the rails fast.
but the last ones, I don't hate that as much as I used to.
It's a good show I just found on Netflix, and I guess it's actually a French show because it's dubbed. Is Lupin, or
Oh yeah,
It's a movie.
Oh yeah.
is
Yeah,
it a movie? Because they put it as
No, it's a-
episodes.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a depiction of an anime, I believe, as well.
That's
he's
what
not
I-
Lupin the Third. No way is
It's
he
not Lupin the Third. It's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not Lupin the Third? Okay.
It's
No.
it's Lupin, based on the gentleman burglar.
Yeah, it's only in the influences. But Lupin is the anime is awesome too.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
it
love
awesome? I love Lupin the Third, man. That anime, like the whole cast, Jigen, and oh man, I could just watch all that all day.
Yeah, they've been coming out with some really good animation as of late. I mean, there's some series that are coming up in the woodwork, and I know if you're a fan of, have you heard of I think it's not Devil's May Cry, but it's have you heard the character Tanjiro? Tanjiro,
No, Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. Have you seen that, Stephanie? I love.
It just hit Netflix.
Amazing. Yeah,
it just hit Netflix. So yeah, watch it. It's beautiful, actually.
Yeah, it's also on Hulu.
Whoever did the animation, I think it's a studio called Ufotable or something like that. It's next level. The way their camera works, you'll just enjoy it. I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, there's also a movie that just recently is going to be coming out, and they're also going to make season 2. So that's a great thing to hear.
Cool.
Yep.
So in I have a question as far as I'm noticing that in recent interviews that you speak many different languages, but to the reason of fine drinking, what is your drink of choice? What is on a Friday night? What does Stephanie Hahn drink?
Usually I drink. If I can go to a bar, I will have a mojito. If I cannot go to a bar, I will have a Lambrusco.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lambrusco
is really the wine of people who don't like wine. Who don't know wine. I love wine, but I cannot choose it. So Lambrusco is like, in Germany they do this thing. It's like Coke and wine mixed together.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
I gotta try
that. And Lambrusco is very close to that, honestly.
Wow. See, we don't get to experience much here in America. We got no culture here. We're just a bunch of heathens over here.
Lambrusco is really cool. It's cheap and everybody likes it.
I'll have to try that for sure.
Yeah, never heard of that. That's cool.
Yeah, we're like, beer. We got beer.
Several Bud Light commercials being advertised in Super Bowl.
So Stephanie, what are your future projects? You kind of mentioned a little bit about kind of die when JR mentioned kind of like the future of that series. Is there anything else that you're working on
that you can talk about?
Yes.
Honestly, I have no time for anything. I have a few covers to do that I'm always struggling to make because I am really running after times these days. But right now, I just want to finish die and take like 3 months rest at least.
Oh my goodness!
I'm tired.
No, it's definitely well deserved. I mean, you put so much into that art, and it's like nonstop, and you're doing all these amazing covers.
Seems like every new week there's another cover from you. It seems like you're just working nonstop.
I know. I'm so tired.
That's a good thing, though.
Is there a cover that you're just really proud of that you did?
No, I always say it's the first one I did for Marvel because it really literally changed my life.
It's such an amazing cover. It's Firestar, and my God! If you guys are in the chat looking it up, definitely go on Google, pull it up. I mean, it's so striking. The red and the color choice palette, it just really pops out and just grabs you immediately. And the sense of direction, it's so dynamic. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of your art.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then kind of speaking about art, we have our team picked a number of covers that we really enjoyed. All right, Stephanie. So these are our covers that, again, that we picked out that, brings certain emotions from us and things that we kind of enjoyed. So I'm going to start off first with my favorite Stephanie Hahn's cover, and it is the Ms. Marvel cover.
It's actually
go ahead.
Like a traditional art.
Oh, she painted it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you painted this?
I still have it somewhere. Let's see.
Oh my God, I want it.
Alonso's like, here's my wallet. Here.
Yeah. Alonso is definitely the art connoisseur. Oh my god, that is so beautiful.
Oh my god.
Hey, Alonso's gonna message you offline about that later.
Yes, I want it.
Immediately.
If it's for sale, Alonso will buy it.
I will buy
Yes.
it. I will buy it. I love this cover because it's like it emotes like youth and like playfulness, and it's very
badass cover.
yeah, and it's so simple. I love the white background. Like you didn't add anything on it. It just focuses immediately on the character, and I love that she's like popping bubble gum.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And showing her face too.
Yeah,
That's
she's ready to go save the day.
Thank you.
It's a very like attitude pose, but at the same time, it's not like a negative attitude. It's like a confidence attitude. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. I
I
so
love the hair.
So
I know the way it flows.
I'm glad you have it. We'll definitely have to talk if it's available. So this is my favorite cover, and we're now going to be moving on to Steve.
So in looking at your work, I mean, the thing that really struck me with my first cover for A-Force was just the opening of space, the constellation of look. I mean, it just the hair flow and everything. It just looks like she's exuding like energy and just this massive amount of energy just going through and then the second. Oh,
So
definitely,
this
please.
one also is traditional.
It's
she also
amazing.
painted that one too. Yeah, and that's Captain Universe, right?
Uh,
Yeah,
No.
sorry.
It's one of its A-Forces. It's a brand new character that was introduced in
Yes.
this particular issue.
Singularity.
Singularity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But my
Okay.
God, I mean, this is such a striking piece. I mean, so dynamic. Says a lot more than just, her looking up, but also just kind of going down the rabbit hole and looking in just the background, the full space. I mean, this second cover here, Stephanie, really reads to me like cityscapes. I mean, I love how you captured the city and this dynamic pose of her jumping into danger. It just, and then the color choice, the reds kind of starting from the bottom and then clearing out to the top just caught my eye when I was looking at this piece. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I could hear a series of music notes just hitting the cityscape, like you're there. It sucked me right in.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And then this last cover, I just recently kind of stumbled across this. I mean, with Marvel, acquiring aliens, I look at this and I'm just like, I would not want to be in a sci-fi film in that scene. But the yellow is such an excellent choice. I mean, you got this alien coming right at you. I'm not Ripley. I'm just the android getting torn up to pieces and maybe going right out into space. But this is amazing. I mean, my God. Kudos to you.
How
on
did
this
you
cover.
feel drawing like Geiger stuff?
The what?
Like this is, I mean, Alien was originally done by a guy named Geiger, right? Like that entire design of like the wrists and those. How did you feel drawing something so ugly?
In French, I say Giger.
Giger. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
That sounds way better.
His name is German, so it's like it's Giger.
Giger.
Oh,
Okay.
Giga.
I told you we have no culture here. We're a bunch of heathens. Yeah.
Hey, I'm German.
From the farther side of German, though.
Yeah.
But you normally draw things that are so pretty, or at least you're asked to draw covers that are pretty. Now you're asked to draw this drooling evil thing. How did that feel?
Well, it's you're gonna think it's horrible, but it's just a job. I'm always excited to work on part of my my own history, the pop culture history. But I've been drawing aliens for a while because I used to work on the Alien Defiance series for Darkhorse, so it's more like going back to something I already did, even though it's very different from what I did for Darkhorse.
Man, it's awesome.
I have to
It's
go
awesome.
listen to that.
I'm loving all these alien covers that are coming out.
Oh,
Quick question: How long would usually a piece like this take you to do?
It depends on the elements, and the longest part is the back and forth and me, because I always have other work to do, so I'm always waiting for
Okay.
that. For a cover like this, maybe half a day, something like this.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool.
Alrighty.
I can't wait to
So
get this covered.
moving down to JR. JR, can you tell us more about this favorite cover of yours?
Well, I mean, like I said, I love your die stuff. I mean, this is just one of those covers where it's striking. I mean, I love the 20-sided die being broken down, which you do on all the covers, but the minimalist of the colors compared to. I mean, it's just like 3, maybe 4 colors in there. I actually had to find this one when it came out, because I think this was a special one that was. I forgot what company did it, but there's only like 500 of them. But hands down, this is one of my favorite covers, and everything you've done for die on the covers has been amazing. But just with the kids kind of coming out of her, or it looks like kids coming out of her.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any influence you had when you did this, or any kind of you're trying to convey?
Nothing really. I just wanted to, I'm always a fan of answers hidden in plain sights. So I wanted to have a very bold design that literally tells you that it's the dice 20. It's just in front of you.
Right.
And it's written on it because die is the singular of dice. So you should know it's already on the cover, and this is what I wanted to do.
Nice.
Is Ash your favorite character?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
She's sometimes. She's most of the time. But once in a while, there are some pieces of myself I find in other characters. I'm not really sure I like them for that. Fun fact, Kieran and I apparently identify to the same character, and both of us don't like him.
Oh my.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
You're like, what does that say about myself?
Well, I mean, one thing about this, I mean, the whole story, just go into a little bit, is it's a very dark story, and it kind of shows the characters they play, they're playing versions of themselves, and it's just warped. It's very, as Alonzo said to me, it's D&D with post-traumatic syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense. And it's just such a twisted book.
Mm-hmm. And they have to play the same characters they choose when they were young and naive and a bit obnoxious.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy good.
I'm going to pick it up today. I've made an executive decision. I'm picking up the trade.
There's one I forget. I always forget her name, but she's the one that makes a deal with the gods.
Isabel.
Isabel.
Yes. And just the whole, she makes a deal, but then she has to turn around and owes them a favor at the end. And just some of the stuff that ends up doing is just so, pardon my French, but fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, because she ends up she did something and just completely destroyed Matt's character recently, and it's just like, oh man.
Oh, spoilers! Come on.
That's
I
fine.
didn't say what it was.
Yeah, he just gave me just a little. He dangled the dangling fruit, and I'm going, JR. We will be talking about that very soon, my friend.
What was that again?
Oh, they all fuck up at some point anyway. It's not
Oh,
just...
Yeah.
Okay. And then moving on to our next cover, and this one is brought to you by Rob.
Well, I'm a big Star Wars guy, so I had to go with this one. I just love the actual, just the green colors in here, the presentation of Yoda, just the youth in them, just the seriousness. I don't know. I'm not going to be super descriptive as Steve here, but I just love this cover. I just love the whites in the background. It's just a dope ass cover, and it's a very popular cover. It's people are out there searching for this cover.
It is. I just want to kind of piggyback to Rob's. I just started collecting in May with the rest of the fellows having a huge amount of years on top of them. But this is actually my first 9.8 slab that I will be acquiring. And, it is an amazing cover. I mean, Jedi, the light in the back, and just a perfect choice of palette colors.
Let's put it this way. Every one of us in this room right now is getting a 9.8 of this cover. We all ordered one.
We could not
That's how
help
much
it.
we loved it.
Nice.
Well, quick question: are you doing any more Star Wars covers?
Not sure. Maybe.
Maybe. Sounds like
Super
a yes.
secret.
That's a secret.
Sounds like a yes.
One of those guys.
I had been offered another one, but time is so difficult to grasp these days. So I don't know.
Maybe after your vacation, we'll see.
She's like,
Or
I
if our
hope so.
commission list opens up, maybe I'll order one.
Exactly. All right.
Get the lineup.
And then now moving on to Nick's favorite cover.
I love
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, so Rasputin, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of stuff of her out there. I started collecting her covers, and this was just my favorite. It was ratioed. I love the pink background in this one, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring it up and ask, like, how did you feel drawing, a brand new character? I mean, obviously you've done it before with other characters in A-Force and stuff like that, but this is X-Men, so it's important to me.
And JR.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always happy to draw new characters. It's like being a part of a bigger story. I love it. And you can also improvise. Oh, not so much actually, because my art is more like kind of realist. So I always try to stick to the designs, but still, there is a bit of room.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a dynamic pose. It's like she's larger than the comic book. She's larger than life, but she's all in the picture. I don't know if she's about to swipe somebody or something, but she has that serious look on her face, and the hair is just amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like she has a slight smirk, and she's like, I know something you don't know, and you won't be alive to tell it.
And she's super strong. I want to see more Rasputin. Marvel, if you're watching this, more Rasputin. Make it happen. Guys, you can't just put this character in and 3 issues later they're gone forever.
She'll
need
come
it.
back. She'll come
Need
back.
it.
I mean, they do have time travel, so it should happen.
They have all the genetic materials to make her again. Make her.
Por favor, please.
I love this cover, though. Thank you so much for this cover.
Thank you.
So that's all we have for our favorite covers. So again, thank you for making such fantastic work. I mean, it definitely inspires things within us when we see it.
Thank you.
So we like to kind of run it down with a quick question gamut, and this is a great segment. First word that comes to mind. What I want to know is favorite choice of food, because I've been following your favorite choices of food, and my God, it makes me hungry.
Oh God, mango sago. I'm craving mango sago. Honestly, it's a dish you find in Singapore, in Hong Kong. Also, it's sago is a bit like tapioca, but more like jelly consistency, and it's served in a mix of coconut cream and then a mango puree with fresh mangoes. And,
Oh my God.
I just salivated.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get hungry.
Yeah, JR and I have shared a meal or two, and just hearing that dessert is, I have a sweet tooth like no other. So, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, favorite movie?
Oh, that's difficult. I would say maybe Oh Brother. I just love to watch that movie again and again.
Nice.
It's a great soundtrack, too.
Oh yeah, I love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh. I usually am tempted by reading the mind of people, but I think that would be very toxic. Teleportation.
Oh, so you can just teleport to Coachella and just be there without having to deal with the flight. I get it.
Yeah,
Teleport to
jet lag,
Singapore.
nothing.
Yeah, have food. And then like be back in your bed at night. That would be so awesome, right? You're like, go eat anywhere, sleep at home.
That'd be a great way to get around the COVID ban.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Oh, what a wonderful life that would be.
Gosh, I never thought I'd be missing 2019 so much, guys. Like life in 2019 seems so far away and so bright. You're like, oh man, I remember eating meals with people, having drinks with people. Those are things I did.
Is there
20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Is there any character that you haven't drawn that you'd like to draw?
I'm pretty sure I would like to draw Electra.
Electra. Oh,
Ooh.
So I'm a huge Daredevil fan. I mean, like I'm missing like 50 issues to have the complete run of every issue he's ever done. So you just hit me right in the good spot there. That I'd pay to see a good Electra.
Cool.
Favorite character? Comic book character.
Oh, of all time, yeah.
Yep, of all time.
It's Death. From
Death?
From Sandman?
Sandman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice choice.
Very nice. Oh my God, diversity and everything, keeping us on our toes, Stephanie.
Cool.
Is there a writer that you'd like to work with, like past or present, that you haven't worked with?
And Neil Gaiman for sure.
Oh wow, that would be
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, I could see you doing some pretty good Sandman stuff with him.
I would love
Your artwork would work perfectly for that.
I want a Doctor Who series from you too. That would be great.
Well, Team Nerdherd, thank you for joining us on this journey through Stephanie Hahn's career. We are super excited to have you, Stephanie. Thank you so much again. And tell us where we can find you. We're eager to know, and our fans are eager to know where they can find you in your next couple of projects coming up.
Well, right now I'm not very sure. Like soon, Die is coming back. I think it's in March. So
Nice.
Die is gonna be the first thing.
I can't wait.
Cool. And like your IG or Twitter, do you have social media handles?
Oh yeah, Stephanie Hahn's art is the IG. Hunt Stephanie is Twitter. I don't have a website anymore because I need to rebuild it, but it will arrive sooner or later.
Cool.
Show me the one whose safety deems such destruction.